Jem is my name, no one else is the same. Jem is my name. Jem.
I forgot to mention it last time, but Jen Bartel, who drew the Shayna Wars segment in the annual and the Valentine special, I think, a couple of covers too, is on art for this short arc. And that means, I don't know, maybe Sophie Campbell is like just really busy. I mean, you expect in annuals to get different artists. That's part of the fun. And, you know, sometimes you get different artists for like, you know, the holiday specials, you know, the holiday and the Valentine special. But they've been jumping kind of back and forth with artists here, and I'd be interested to know if there was, you know, if this was a particularly hectic and troubled production, you know, this run of comics, or Sophie Campbell's just highly in demand, busy with her own work. I don't know. I rarely see a singular run of a book. Well, I mean, the various arcs are typically one artist throughout the arc, but most books I read, same artist throughout almost all of the book, or it changes once, like halfway through, because they need to get a new artist for whatever reason. But anyway, so the Holograms and their significant others have split up to go find Stormer's eviscerated remains, and all of them are exceptionally bad at driving. They're having the heart-to-heart talks, right? Shayna and Tony are in the car, and they're talking about, have you told them yet? I just don't want, it's never the right time. And what she's talking about is what you might have expected, and what I expected, which you'll just have to take my word for it, because I forgot to actually say I was expecting it last time. It's her internship with the fashion lady in Milan, whose name I definitely don't remember. Susan. Pretty sure it was Susan. So Shayna's going to take the internship and quit, not just quit the band, but leave her sisters for at least a few months, and maybe even take up a permanent position. So that's been eating away at her, and she wanted to finish the album before she broke it to him, but hard to sit on that, right? And of course, Shayna and Tony are, maybe don't have these deep conversations when you're driving on a winding road in a winding wilderness road in the dark. And so Aja and Craig are having a heart-to-heart, and he's like, you cut your hair, you're not breaking up with me, are you? And she goes, no. And he goes, great. Maybe we should watch the road. And then Rio and Jerica are, he said, I have something important to tell you. And his important to tell her is like, Jem smooched me. And she's like, oh, is that all? Whew, okay. And he's like, what, you don't care? And she's like, no, totally do. But Jem already told me that she did that and apologized. Yeah, that's the ticket. So we have a pretty funny conversation here with Rio saying, you don't mind the fact that I just really don't like Jem? And she's like, nah, it's kind of refreshing. Everyone else is like, yay, Jem all the time, and you just don't like her, so that's kind of nice. But as we've seen, it also rubs her the wrong way, because she is Jem, so she can take it personally. But they're also not paying attention to the road, so she rear-ends Stormer's abandoned car. Luckily, the bear dragged her lifeless corpse off into the woods somewhere, so they're spared seeing Stormer bits all over the place. But we've got a few pages left, so they do find a piece of Stormer on a tree. So that's gory. That may just be a piece of fabric. I mean, their muted reaction tells me that's probably just a piece of fabric. It's probably fine. One thing I talked about this a little bit in the last video about how the keeping the secret from Rio doesn't make a ton of sense in the original animated series. What I really loved about that relationship is, unlike how most shows would do it, JEM and the Holograms, the show from the 80s, starts with Jerrica and Rio a committed item. They're already boyfriend-girlfriend. They're already smooching. There's none of that meet cute stuff and falling for each other and going through the trials and no, they're already a couple and proud of it. And that was really refreshing and nice to see. The problem with that is it kind of made no sense. It's like, holograms. I can tell all of my sisters, but we can't tell Rio. I mean, he's like almost lives with you guys. He's constantly there, playing with the Starlight kids and fixing fridges not particularly well. You know, it's the thought that counts, Rio. So it didn't really work. But in this book, in the comic book, Rio is someone they meet. They don't know who he is. I mean, she starts dating him and she grows feelings for him, but do we actually know him? Is this someone we can trust with a potentially dangerous secret? Unless they throw a real curveball, I would assume the answer is eventually yes. But nevertheless, we hear a scream, and they run towards the scream, and they find Stormer, who's in, let me count, one piece. So that's good, because we like Stormer. Don't know what happened to the bear. I guess she just outran it or something, or the bear was like, all right, I'm gonna take care of my cubs and make sure they're safe, but then I'm gonna gnaw on your face. Your face! So the bear comes back and menaces Rio and Stormer and Jerrica. And Rio does not jump on the bear. But Jerrica does go, Synergy help, project something terrifying to scare away the bear. Now, in the show, Synergy creates a really weird alien that goes booga booga booga, and the bear's like, the hell is that? Nope. I'm out. I was gonna eat me some tasty, tasty humans, but nope, I don't know what the hell that is. I am out. So Synergy summons a grizzly bear to yell at the bear, so they're surrounded by bears. And poor Stormer is freaking out because she's deathly terrified of bears. So they take her back to the house. I still don't know whose house this is. Apparently Rio does. And poor Stormer is sitting on the couch with a 1,000-yard stare like... So Kimber is yelling at... Because a lot of them are like, there are no grizzlies in California. How does... I don't know. She's like, I don't know bears. No, I'm pretty sure that doesn't make any sense. Number one, why it would be there. Number two, even if it were, the odds that two bears would show up at the same time. And three, that they both just kind of walked away. Weird, that. So the girls, the holograms, they go into a back room and they start yelling at each other. And Shayna says, by the way, I'm leaving the band. And that's a big old bummer. So that's out in the open. Pardon me. Meanwhile, the Misfits are at a bar, minus Stormer, who survived a bear attack. And Pizzazz, who's still smarting over Stormer choosing Kimber over her, and is like, we're going to get on stage and we're going to play. And the rest of the Misfits are like, without Stormer? And she says, damn right. because she's being salty, which is crap of her to do, yes, but it's also something I think we'd all expect from her character, especially fans of the show, knowing what we know about Phyllis and her relationship with her father. She desperately wants family to be there for her in lieu of the family that definitely was not and still is not there for her as she grew up and into her adulthood. So I imagine that's why she's so prickly when Stormer chooses someone else over her. So anyway, they get ready to go up on stage, but it's open mic night and someone beat him to it. Who beat him to it? It's the Stingers with Rhea. And here's the lyrics to their song, at least what little we see. Oh, hey, I actually missed these the first time I read it. Hey! In your eyes, there's a sound. It's the sound of falling down. So loud I want to drown. Boy, I hope that works better with music, because that sucks. So, Pizzazz is obviously none too happy about that. So, changes ends. Next time's the new arc, Enter the Stingers. And we'll see if anyone dies.